When is it okay to lick your rocks? Right, let me just preface this by saying don't lick your rocks. I did that for dramatic effect, but it has become a little bit of a meme. Don't lick your crystals, don't lick your rocks, don't lick your minerals. And generally, this is good advice to the average casual lay user. I don't lick my rocks. That's probably one of the first times I've ever licked a rock, with the special exception to the edition where I licked a coprolite just for dramatic effect. Now, the reason as to why you shouldn't really be licking your rocks is because, of course, sometimes they have clandestine elements in there that you definitely do not want lurking around inside your digestive tract. Things like lead, things like arsenic. So in order to insulate yourself from this unfolding, just don't lick your minerals or anything that you have in your collection. However, it is true that a geologist in the field might lick certain things. And there are various reasons as to why they might do this. And it is actually a form of diagnostic, although I'm going to remind you that this is a diagnostic that is reserved for people that legitimately know what they're doing. You might lick a rock because it shows the color better. When you've got something which has been sort of weathered, or you've got something that's covered in some kind of benign inert dust, it means that it can show the patination or the color better. You might be able to diagnose the solubility of that mineral. Something like a variety of salt, for example, halite rock salt, for example, or sodium chloride, you can gauge based on taste. Certain clay minerals, chalk, for example, these things are going to sort of adhere to your tongue a little bit. So someone might be able to gauge whether or not something is clay rich, or the porosity of a particular rock or mineral, by virtue of literally just licking it and gauging whether or not their tongue actually sticks to it. However, although this is a form of diagnostic that someone that knows what they're doing might do, I would still strongly discourage people from licking their rocks. There are people who will go out and do field work, for example, who might have an upset stomach, who will literally crush up something like limestone and eat it because they know that it will settle their stomach. Am I recommending you do that? No, I'm not recommending you do that either, but people do it. And the difference between the average person and someone that knows what they're doing is the fact that they know what they're doing. So is this a diagnostic I'm recommending? No, but that is a handful of reasons as to why people do that.